Well, good morning, sunshine. How are you today? Or good evening, good afternoon. It is a beautiful day here, if I do say so myself. Let's do some vlogging, shall we? Come along. So first things first, I have some news. We have a van! This is so exciting! We got our van yesterday and I am in love. Hashtag van life forever. I'm very, very, very excited for this new chapter. Insert van life party right here.
You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You are kinda like a fire, like a fire, like a fire. Unpredictable, so original. You are never backing down, backing down, backing down. That's what I like about you. So dangerous, I get this rush when I'm with you. I go all in to lose or win. Build things up to knock them down. It's the way we keep our high, moving like a hurricane. There will come a time for when we can wash away.
You're welcome. Adventures in vlogging continues. I figured I should do the iconic bathroom setup, getting set up in the bathroom vlog portion. Still getting it. So I was kind of bummed because the first vlog I put out has very little views. And so let's talk about continuing to do things even though you may not. I gotta be honest with you. Today's Friday, October 7th. Yes. I posted my vlog on the 5th, Wednesday, the very first one. And I looked at the numbers this morning. It is very few views. And the whole journey of creating something new, of putting yourself out there in new ways, anytime I create something new, it's one of the things that I'm being very conscious of working through is not getting caught in the traditional success metrics, which matter also because we create things, especially if you put them on YouTube or you send them out into the world in some way so that people experience them and interact with them, right? But also the essence of creating something for its own sake, it must be honored. So right here, there's a choice point. I could go into, well, I worked on that first vlog, I put myself out there. 2 days later, it has 21 views, which seems very sad to me. And also, it has an incredibly beautiful comment by somebody, Ava. I see you, sister. I was like, hey, this is what it's all about. It's connecting with at least a handful of people out there where we get each other, right? We get each other. So what are we doing here? I'm going to just blow dry this little piece of my hair right here. The rest I'm probably gonna do in a braid to the side. So going back to, I totally got distracted there with the hair because I'm avoiding the question at hand. The question at hand is the profound point of when you do something, when you start something off, and often we can start, at least in my opinion, I can start something off with a lot of excitement. And then maybe if it doesn't get the response that I thought I could get, would get, might get, should get. This should is a nasty word. Nasty essence, not the word. Nothing against the word, but the sort of baggage behind should. Expectations, right? So there's a choice point here. Do I continue posting another vlog because I told myself this is something I want to grow into? Or do I just completely give it up? I don't want to give it up. And who knows what might happen? And am I willing to keep doing something that I'm enjoying and I believe in? I'm enjoying the idea of stretching and exploring new territories for me. I'm enjoying the editing process. That was really, really fun for me. It took me 3 days because I have to edit in little bits and spurts because my day is kind of fragmented, which is one of the things that I'm always trying to come back to, is the acceptance of that daily fragmentation because of all the ways that I get stretched in the day-to-day. And so the pockets that I have to do the things that are, do some of the creative things that I want to do, maybe a little bit like, may not be huge. But even with that, am I willing to create the time that I can to dedicate to the vlog? Am I willing to continue to put myself out there? For me, I think the primary stretch right now has way less to do with how the vlog does in terms of the numbers and in terms of its reach and in terms of its metrics, and much more to do with my own commitment to myself to become disciplined, to keep going on something that I don't know what the results are going to be. And I think we're so conditioned to do something and then expect great results, and then if not, we'll just kind of pull the plug. I've seen this so many times in my own life and the own projects that I've embarked on, particularly as an entrepreneur. And we've also been conditioned to see this very false idea of massive results via the coaching world, via that sort of rhetoric of, hey, I'm gonna teach you and show you the one thing you need to do to make, to boost your sales, YouTube viewers, email list, Instagram number, you name it. There's always somebody out there that's saying, and a lot of that is just because there's that shock value of wanting to get you hooked into some massive result, so then you watch the video or consume the product or sign up for the program, and then you have all these high expectations. And one of the things as a coach I always had so top of mind is the integrity of not over-promising things, because there's so many factors to all of the things that we do. And so there's this kind of rhetoric out there, which I have a feeling, and this is a very intuitive kind of energetic thing I've been, it's just something I've been picking up on in terms of how things are shifting, that the days of that kind of conversation are numbered, because people can see through that, because people value a different kind of authenticity, because we value something that's real. And while there are certainly moments when you can have a beautiful pop of big success, kind of a stroke of luck, right? Success meeting opportunity, a stroke of luck that creates something magnificent. The fact is that behind all of that, those moments of luck, those big sparks of oh, look at, some sort of massive growth at a certain point, or success or whatever, behind that there's the work that it takes to do this day by day, to bring the camera into the bathroom, to turn it on, to speak for a little bit, and then put this piece of footage into the computer so that I can eventually add it to a blog timeline when I'm editing. This is what it takes. Whenever you're in that space of, well, what am I supposed to do here? The should again. What should I do here? What should I post? Then that truncates the essence of the creative spirit of trying new things, of allowing yourself to be flexible and mold into new forms, which is in essence the spark of creativity. And when I think about honoring creation, it's very much about also honoring where it goes. I mean, there's no shoulds there. And I guess a should, now I'm thinking, I guess a should, or I don't want to say should, I want to say, what do I want to say? It's tending to the creativity, it's giving it the time. The should here, which is not a should, it's about supporting a creative process and when we look at it through the lens of astrology, this is where Saturn comes into our chart, and I also believe Virgo. If you have Virgo placements or whatever's happening with Virgo in your chart, or in the 6th house, which has to do with the day-to-day discipline and other things as well, but Saturn especially comes in to help us create the structure and the backbone that then makes that creation possible. So that's where we bring in that piece of strategy. So what is the strategy behind creativity, spirituality, trying new things that are in by default are in the realm of the unknown, because we don't know where this is going. And there's two ways to go about it. It's like you could have a very clear idea and expectation of how I want this video to go, which is valid. And also I could be like, let's see what happens here. I like to think that we are moving into a space of more of the let's see what happens, and let's allow ourselves the opportunity to blossom into exploring the realms of the unknown. And that is, for me, where the juice is right now for many of us. And so this ended up just going all over the place, I think. Not really. Let's get ready for the day. I'm gonna wash my face. I'm going to do a little blow dry situation there. And then I'm gonna go. I have a live session with my community, Rise of the Creatrix, in just a little bit. So we'll get that going. And then I wanted to record a video, set up an email for my newsletter, and I will see you later. Remember the facial I got, my last vlog? It was a gentle peel, and it's been working beautifully. I've totally noticed, like, as I was expecting, a little bit of not even redness or irritation, just a little bit of peeling, tiny bit of peeling, and my skin did feel like, oh, especially yesterday. But they also give you a little set of products to use, like mini samples to use for the rest of the week. And so that is like, and today I'm feeling, and the girl said on the 7th day, you're gonna have you're gonna notice the difference in your skin as this, that those upper layers do their peeling. Today I did it Monday, so today's day 5, and I am totally feeling, my skin feels a lot softer. It's good. I've also been focusing on drinking a lot more water, which I normally drink water, but then I forget during the day. So been focusing on drinking a lot more water and doing some things to like kind of clean out my system, especially in the gut region. And so I'm feeling pretty good today. Last night was emotional. Last night was, my God, Jules and I was bawling my eyes out. We had a whole collection of things we were talking about. We were moving through a misunderstanding. Well, not a misunderstanding. We were moving through some conversations about things having to do with, just as we are dealing with ALS, which is kind of all-consuming. We're also a husband and wife. We have a son. So we have imagine having all the things that you have in your life on a regular basis, and also dealing with ALS. It just adds and amplifies this like huge layer of I put on sunblock, by the way, SPF, always important. So we were talking about it, and this week we've had a few like tense moments of those kinds of conversations. And it's almost like our energy was hitting this like crescendo, this peak of we just had to get stuff out. And what I'm really proud of Jules and I doing is that we talk about it. We've become very good at communicating with each other and processing things, not putting anything, not throwing things under the rug. And we'll actually go there. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. We will. Yeah. So last night was one of those nights. We were talking in bed for a long time, and towards the end of it, I just had a big release of emotion. So I was bawling my eyes out in a way where, the way I see it when stuff like that happens, especially like big releases of emotion, it's like there's a bunch of clogged energy that needs to get out. It really does feel like releasing corked up. So what I really want to say this week more than ever, keep going. You know, to keep going, because yeah, because we get to keep going. So I'm gonna go work on a couple things on my computer, and then I'll be back a little bit later. So keep going. Do not give up. And I would love to hear what you might be thinking about starting that's brand new. Maybe there's something in your heart right now that you're like, oh, this. So share it below, because I'd love to hear about it. Let me share what I'm working on. I am on Canva right now. One of my absolute favorite tools ever. So good. I'm on Canva right now, and I am creating a new thumbnail for my very first vlog. And this is something that I've done a few times, especially now that I'm starting out the channel. I'm testing things out. So there's a certain, there's a certain flavor of thumbnail that is most effective. And it's one of those things where it's like you create something amazing and then it kind of hangs on the one thumbnail that people will click on, and it sucks. And at the same time, it's just playing with playing in the sandbox of what YouTube is. And so the thumbnail is really, really very important. And so what I'm doing here is I am testing out a new version, a slightly tweaked version of the thumbnail. Maybe the first thumbnail I created didn't quite hit the mark, and so that's okay. This is part of the experimenting. So I'm going back to the drawing board, kind of, and yeah, this is all part of experimenting, trying new things. Let's not be afraid to try new things, and to know that you don't have to get it smack dab perfect from the very first go. So yeah, that's what's happening here. I have about 10 minutes left until I get onto Zoom, where I'm going to do every week in my community, I do a Focus and Flow live session. I call it Focus and Flow Fridays, where I talk about the energy of that particular week. I pull some cards to help us with our mindset and our momentum, and how to focus and flow and basically create the things we want to create, right? Without burning ourselves out. And I also create some space. I hold space to work on the things. So I'll play some music in the background, and then it's basically a half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour of working time, which aligns well with like the Pomodoro method. It's a wonderful way. And I use the space myself to get situated for the week ahead. So it's something I've been trying out brand new in Rise of the Creatrix, and I've really enjoyed it so far. It's been a nice little space, and again, all in this flavor of experimenting and trying new things and ways that I can support others to get inspired to do the things they want to do. That's a core part of what I want to keep leaning into. So I'm gonna hop on that in about 9 minutes, and then get on with the rest of my day. No fear, we're gonna try new things. What is my why? Where am I focusing here? But also the flow of allowing it to be authentic, allowing it to be something that expresses who I am, allowing it to be something that I don't take very seriously. And this is a big thing that also points to what are we healing, which has to do with this full moon as well. Why? Because it's conjunct Chiron. The conjunction with Chiron, the wounded healer, this point of healing in our charts, means that have to do with self and other. Aries is self, me, right? Who I am in the world. And Libra is then how I interact with others in the world. Who am I in relationship with others? So this axis asks that question. Who am I and how am I interacting in the world with others? Starting something new that is going to bless your life and potentially the lives of others. Why? Because the very next card that we have is the card of community. Community, and my goodness, the butterflies, I've been talking about the butterfly gateway, right? In November, coming up. This rainbow, which is very much of that like prism. I'm always talking about your light print, which I see as you taking your light, what makes you you, and just, you know, showing it out in the world. The light of consciousness, the light of the universe, the light of spirit, the light that's yearning to come through. And you run it through the prism. The prism is you, and each one of us is going to refract that light in a unique way. We'll have unique offerings, we'll have unique things to teach, we'll have unique things to share in the world. And so in community, into community. So what are the blessings of this new thing that you're trying to start that impacts community? Your sense of connecting with others, right? And what do we get to release? And this card is perfectly like a perfect fall vibe card. We're talking also about what it means to reset our month. It's never too late to reset your understanding of what this month can have in store for you. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I look. If I talk so, like, not look at it and talk. Boom!
Okay.
Cheers.
Can you be off the screen for a minute?
Excuse me. I am currently enjoying a very delicious afternoon of some Florida rain. You can't see it, but it's raining. I'm reading this incredible book, A Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Highly recommend if you're into magic and fantasy. Beautiful story about stories. And life is good right now. Life is good. I've been thinking a lot today about acceptance. And I wasn't sure what the theme of this vlog was going to be, what the kind of thread, the story thread. And I think the thread, the story, the storyline, the thread, the through line is acceptance. It's acceptance, and it's that sweet and, to be honest, sometimes hard to achieve balance between acceptance and always looking towards growth and hope. Acceptance and faith of incredible things to come, because acceptance almost feels like, well, okay, this is what it is. And there's so much freedom in that mindset. There really, truly is so much freedom in that mindset. This is it. This is it. This is the moment, right here, right now. Breathing into the present. And also maintaining that curiosity and that delicious zest for things to come. And exploration and hope, which is this fuel for how we lean into the future. Faith, hope, and acceptance. Yes. I hope you're enjoying your day. Let me also show you this delicious espresso that I'm drinking. Life is good right now, my friends. So, cheers. Here's to you and to me.